Welcome to Breaking News, the daily news bulletin from Redcar Athletic FC, the new kids on the block in the Pitching In Northern Premier League. Well, last night saw the first game ever for our new under-21 sides as they travelled to face Whitby Fishermen in the first pre-season friendly. That match played last evening, 7 o'clock at Estelle School. And it was great news for our young lads because they came back with an emphatic 4-1 victory. Defender Harvey Clark, had the honour of scoring the first ever goal for our brand new side with a header. And that was added to shortly afterwards by a goal from Kieran Eston. Whitby did pull a goal back before the break due to a goalkeeping error. And then Kieran Eston added his second after the break to put us 3-1 up. And then a trialist scored a great long-range effort. So it was a great night on a very windy evening, as it always is up at the school. If you've ever been there in Whitby, it's a high-up venue, and it's the only place I've been to that's more windy than the Hollou Sports Stadium. Anyway, let's catch up with what the Under-21s manager Danny Todd said before the game, where he went through the reasons why the club have set up this brand new side. So here we are up at Estelle School, and I'm joined by Danny Todd, who's going to be taking charge of the first ever Redcar Athletic Under-21 game tonight. Danny, tell us a little bit about this new team and what the thought process was behind starting an Under-21 team at Redcar.
Yeah, so a couple of reasons really. We wanted a closer link to the first team than the reserves provided last year. Although we tried our best, the standard that the reserves were playing at, some weeks was good standard, some weeks was so-so. So part of the reasoning behind this was we wanted to play quality opposition every week and get the young lads who are potentially looking at playing Northern League football and higher, hopefully one day for the first team, a taste of some competitive football, extremely competitive football. Although a lot of the games last year were tough, some of the lads that have played tonight, hopefully I'll see a big improvement because they've had a season in men's football. And then a lot of the other younger lads haven't played men's football at all before, but we've got some really good players, and hopefully tonight will be the first time that everyone sees some of the talent that we've got to offer. And hopefully one day in a couple of years' time, a couple of these lads might be potentially playing for our first team.
And tell us about this new midweek league that they're going to be playing in. How is that going to sort of work?
Yeah, so it's brand new. We don't know yet, depending on how many teams enter the league, whether we'll be playing every week or every other week. Whatever happens, the teams that we're playing are proper teams. There are some of them are college programs, some of them are university programs, and some of the teams that we'll be playing are teams that have got teams in the Northern League and higher. So Wednesday nights mainly, some will change, but it also means that some of the lads can play men's football on a weekend as well, which is good. So excited, looking forward to getting started tonight. Hopefully we'll go well, I'm sure it will. And yeah, hopefully tonight will be the first glimpse of what we've got up and coming at the club.
And finally, you've already touched on it a bit earlier on, but obviously supporters have noticed that over the last couple of years in particular, there hasn't really been a pathway to the first team from our underage sides. You know, people have seen that there's no one really been coming through. I'm guessing that one of the main reasons for starting this under-21 side is to put that right.
Yeah, we're hoping to bridge the gap between sort of the junior sides and the men's senior team. Obviously I run the reserves last year, and on the pitch potentially wasn't a success, or when you look at the stats and so on and so forth, it doesn't look like a success, but it was for me. A lot of probably a handful of the lads, 4 or 5 of the lads that are playing tonight played last year, so like I said, have had a season in men's football, which will do well, which will help them, so I'm really hoping that the lads will do well this season. I'm sure they will.
Well, best of luck tonight. Let's hope we start with a win.
Lovely, thanks Dave.
Cheers. Danny Todd there. And if you want to see full highlights from last night's game between Whitby Fishermen's Development and our under-21s, as well as the full match day experience of the game, then you can view that on my brand new Just a Sec TV channel, which is my personal club secretary YouTube channel, and you'll find a link to that underneath this video. So just click on there and you can watch the full match highlights from last night's game, as well as a wider day out experience. Now, tomorrow is a pivotal day for the club because we are going to find out the draw at around lunchtime for the Emirates FA Cup and the Isuzu FA Trophy. In the latter case, of course, the very first time that we will have ever competed in that competition, having previously always competed in the FA Vase. So we'll know both of those at around lunchtime, and we'll be making tomorrow's edition of Breaking News just as soon as those draws are available. We'll also, of course, be previewing Saturday's opening game for the first team, which is against Redcar Town at the Hollou Sports Stadium, kick-off 3 o'clock. We'll be doing all the match build-up to that one tomorrow, and of course the FA Cup will give us news of our very first competitive match of the season, unless you include the Cleater Cup tie with Easington, but the first proper competitive fixture, most would say, is the Emirates FA Cup extra preliminary round on August 2nd, and we will know our opponents for that opening fixture by this time tomorrow. So tune back then, but until then, you are up to date.